The Riley County community is very interesting because we're really dealing with, three different communities of Riley, Leonardville, Keats, and sort of that Manhattan area. And so we're really bringing together three different areas of the county. People new to Riley County might think that since we are a small school that you're always going to feel like an outsider and you're the new person, but I don't believe that's the case because we do have that portion that's very close to Manhattan. And no matter where you move, I believe in our school district, there's people there that you can relate to and ask questions about our school, and they'll be welcoming. And so I think we're very inclusive in that way. It's not just one little community where hardly anybody new ever comes. We do have many new students every year, and it creates more of that inviting atmosphere.
Probably the first month or so into transferring out to Riley from Manhattan, they were making sure that we understood that they had just blended right in and they had made friends right away, and that we didn't need to worry that if they were feel like they were being left out or not, that they had just kind of slipped right in like they had always been there. I feel that it's just a very welcoming and nurturing district. When we first got here, they had asked within a couple weeks if they could put my fifth grader in an accelerated math program, and I thought that was just awesome that they had really focused on that and paid attention to his level and really wanted to challenge him. So I was grateful that we were notified really quickly.
Everybody in that building loves to smile and have fun with the kids, and our students really know that people care about them and get excited to come in to school, and they know people are going to say hi to them and call them by name, and they just have that familiarity where they feel like they're coming to a safe space.
We had some friends that are in the Riley County School District, and we also had friends that were, in the Manhattan School District, the Rock Creek, and so I feel like we had exposure to all of the different school districts in the area. And like I said, there's just so much pride when we would talk to our friends that had children within the district. They were always talking about the events that we're doing, and it just seemed like they were very involved with their children's education, and that was something that was important to us. And it just seemed like Riley County really afforded those opportunities. I feel like they have been able to develop a very diverse group of friends. So from all different areas, some that live in Manhattan, some that live here, some that live in the surrounding areas, and so that's been really neat. Their friend group has become more diverse as they've gotten to meet more people, and like I said, as a result, then our friend group has as well. But yeah, they're thriving. They're excited to come home and tell us what they've learned. We've seen such measurable progress just in the short time that they've been enrolled. Aside from just like the paper pencil stuff, but just like some of the maturity that we've noticed and the social skills that they've developed. We just see them thriving, and we know that this has a lot to do with it. Obviously, with the birth of triplets last year, our family went through a major transition, and teachers were aware of that. We're very flexible with like, hey, we know this is going on in your family right now, so we're willing to work with you. They gave them the extra care and extra love that maybe we weren't able to do because our time and our attention was being split so many different ways. That's really neat. Like when you're in that position, you always expect that there will be friends and family that might try to step in that role for you, but you don't really expect it to be the teachers, and we absolutely experienced that from, checking in on our kids, even, once school was out, how are they doing, dropped breakfast off at our house for us, all of those things going above and beyond that would never ever be expected of a teacher, but because we had forged that relationship all through the school year up to that point, just felt like enough of a part of the family that they could come do those types of things and, come meet our babies and see how the kids were doing, which just meant so much to us as somebody, that's been in the district only here for a couple of years. We had some family that was there when Riker's teacher knocked on the door to surprise us with breakfast one morning when we had just gotten home from the hospital, and they were just in disbelief. They're like, I can't believe that his teacher would take time on a Saturday morning to come and drop breakfast off for your family, and so not only did it speak volumes to us, but it was such a positive PR thing for somebody that's not even associated with this district to be like, wow, we know you guys love your school, but now we see why. Like there's really something to that that community feel that you're always raving about that you have within that school. We can be out in the community and, you know, we'll see somebody in a restaurant or a store and they'll call both of my children by name, and they will know, you know, they may not be their teachers, they may not even be associated with them, but they've seen them at some point at the school, and they remember and they know their siblings and they introduce themselves to us. And that is so neat. My favorite thing is, you know, I drop the kids off for school every morning, and my favorite thing is there's always staff or, you know, faculty or staff standing outside. They call my children by name. They're excited to see them. They usually compliment them on something, you know, I love your hair bow, or hey, you're looking good today with that Chiefs jersey on, or something. And I think that's so powerful, not just for my children, but for all the children, because, you know, we know that that's kind of what's going to set the tone for how their day is going to go. And, you know, when you're rushing around in the morning trying to get to school, to be greeted with a smile and be called by name and be complimented on your way in, you know, what a great way to start the day, and I feel like that just sets the tone for how the rest of their day is going to go. So I think that's so meaningful.
Yeah, it's about people, not programs, and I think that defines our school. Our staff, the people, they're just good people. They're good human beings. They care about each other. They care about our students and our students' families, our community, our patrons. There's just a genuine good heart to all of our people, and they don't focus on just what's going on in their classroom. Keeping any of our kids who might be at risk academically, socially, emotionally, keeping tabs on them so that we can provide the interventions that those students need so that they can graduate and they can experience success.
So I think structurally, and what we kind of put in place as a system at Riley County is we want you to be better once you leave. And it doesn't have to be in any one specific area either. Just, do you feel like you are a better person when you leave? And that's a partnership between us and what's going on at home. Because it wouldn't be possible without parent support with that approach. So the partnership between, you know, our building and their home life is important. And I think there's been a lot of success for our students because we have the same goals for these kids, to be the best versions of themselves, to be successful. And parents, you know, they're putting their most prized possession in our hands day in, day out. And I think all of the people in this building understand that and want to leave the best product out there.
I feel like he is able to be who he is. He can be good on the saxophone, he can play the sax and play sports and be a high academic kid and not feel like any of those things pigeonholes him into one thing or the other. He can be all of it until he figures out what he wants to do. I think that is one of the benefits of being able to do everything. Every year we ask him, okay, we have the out of district, we have to fill out the forms. Every year, fill those out. You still want to go to Riley? And every year he says, of course. I mean, it's not even a question for him. And then with COVID, I was like, okay, everybody went online. Everybody went online in March. And then it was like, well, Riley probably has the capability in terms of numbers and space and safety to go in person. And when I heard temperature check every day, masks, mask breaks, socially distanced, and we have so much space, I was like, okay, it's good for them to be together.
I feel our kids would do better in a smaller school, you know, like Riley. Riley is, you know, it's bigger, but it's not like 300 kids in a graduating class. You know, it's a nice sized school, I feel, at least for my kids. Obviously, there are more opportunities here with, you know, more sports, FFA, other, you know, activities or organizations that they could get involved with.
We try to do a lot of work within the building just to connect with kids, talk with kids, make a social and emotional connection to them, an academic connection to them, and meet as many of their needs as we possibly can.